If he's convicted, later on, they can file an appeal and claim he didn't get a fair trial. Poor Scam Sam. So, believe it or not, I am with Scam Sam's lawyers on this one.
Hi, my name is Sam, and this is my story.
How's it going, guys? Always good to see you. Apparently, our dear friend, Scam Sam Wankman. Apparently, he's whining that he's not getting his proper vegan diet. The supposed cryptocurrency genius, Mr. Sam Bankman Fried, cannot prepare for trial. His defense is useless unless he can use his computer. My guess is he would need internet along with that. He needs his medications and a better diet. He's a vegan, after all. This is the argument that his lawyers are making. And I'd hate to say this, but on one aspect, his lawyers may have a point. If he's convicted, later on, they can file an appeal and claim he didn't get a fair trial because he had no access to his mental health meds. And that is very problematic. Now, considering I'm kind of suspicious about basically everything, I suspect that if they don't give him his meds, that they're doing it on purpose. And basically, this is an easy way for them to throw away the whole case. And that is something that should be seriously considered. That is not something that the prosecutors should be up. And my guess is that the judge, the jury, whoever, they're going to find this as a serious flaw in the case for a future appeal if they don't give him his meds. Supposedly he suffers from depression and he has like ADHD, so he gets Adderall. I just found that Scam Sam has been prescribed for over 5 years MSAM, 9 milligrams per 24 hours, a transdermal patch. So I'm guessing he just wears it for the treatment of depression along with Adderall for ADHD. So if he's been given MSAM for over 5 years, that could screw up the whole case if they don't give him his meds. I really hope that they consider that. I would venture to say, my paranoid inner self would venture to say that they could even withhold these meds on purpose just so that his future appeal is much easier. I know it sounds crazy and paranoid, but you just never know with these people. Even Bloomberg wrote an article as to why jailed Scam Sam is unlikely to have access to some of his meds. So, believe it or not, I am with Scam Sam's lawyers on this one. But again, it could all just be done on purpose. You never know. Anyways, of course, the 31-year-old crypto genius scammer was only jailed recently because of witness tampering, despite all the other crazy things he did. But nonetheless, he was finally jailed away from his cushy house arrest in Palo Alto. On top of this, Scam Sam was also hit with another charge, which is good, because before his financial donations to politicians, that charge was actually dropped. But this past week, he was hit finally with a superseding indictment regarding using stolen funds, stolen customer money to actually make political donations. We're talking over $100 million in political donations just last year alone. It's a lot of money. So besides the meds and of course his strict vegan diet, his lawyers also argue that he's only been surviving off of bread and water, occasionally peanut butter. Now that is actually a familiar story. Supposedly, he said the same thing down in the Bahamas when he was in jail there. Even though his mother was pictured arriving to the Bahama jail with bags full of food, full of veggies, full of produce, full of fresh market foods. Fresh market is a higher end, kind of a Whole Foods equivalent supermarket. So I don't think Scam Sam was starving in the Bahamas, and I certainly don't think he's starving now. Just like Scam Sam could stand to lose a couple of bucks, a couple of dollars, Scam Sam can also stand to lose a few pounds. Hell, I could stand to lose a few pounds. So he should really take this opportunity to hit that gym at the jail. Mark Cohen, his defense attorney, said that his client, his jailed client, who is a strict vegan, continues to follow his principles, whatever that means, and claims that he's been forced to follow his Spartan-like diet, all because he's being served a flesh diet. Flesh diet, strange wording for him to use. And of course, this is all happening at the Metropolitan Detention Center. If you haven't checked out that video, check it out, because apparently it's a They've had a lot of complaints, and even judges themselves in New York have claimed that the jail system there is run by a bunch of morons. So check it out if you haven't. It's pretty funny. Now I kind of find this part satisfying because Mark Cohen, his lawyer, made these arguments in a courtroom, of course, with Scam Sam present in shackles. Finally, in a prison suit in shackles. Sadly, we don't have an actual picture. Maybe I can get ChatGPT to generate an AI image. I should do that. Now, despite the pleas and despite the boo-hoo crying, the judge said, hey, sorry, gotta go back to jail. But Scam Sam tried the same thing down in the Bahamas. He also told the judge there he couldn't go to jail because he's too depressed that he's vegan. He just can't go to jail in the Bahamas. And again, it also failed there too. So, pretty funny. Poor Scam Sam, in shackles. His ankles were shackled up just to make sure the didn't escape. So far, Scam Sam has only been at the Metropolitan Detention Center since August 11th. So he's only been there a very short amount of time in the notorious MDC torture jail. I gotta say, Scam Sam does look mighty sad, as he should, in this courtroom sketch, looking straight at the artist drawing him. So to clear things up, the new amended indictment basically accuses Scam Sam of directing specifically two FTX executives to evade contribution limits to politicians and to conceal where the money came from, which of course was customer funds. With the prosecutors adding, they said, making clear that Mr. Sam Bankman Fried remains charged with conducting a legal campaign finance scheme. That is a very good thing. What's interesting about his meds is that according to the reports, he was actually granted access to his Adderall for ADHD and also for his depression. He was granted access to his MSAM by Judge Kaplan on August the 14th, just right after he was thrown in the slammer. But the lawyers said that just 8 days later, his access to his meds have stopped. That is a big, big problem. Here's another court drawing that's, I'm guessing, is his mother. What's surprising is there's nobody in the background. His lawyers actually argue that his access to a computer is part of the defense because right now he's only allowed access to physical documents, copies of millions and millions of pages that he needs to basically get ready for his case, where Scam Sam potentially can't access the tremendous amounts of data because, of course, he only has physical copy of a certain amount of documents. That kind of makes sense, I suppose. But again, I suspect that this could create a problem down the line. If there's an appeal, that they could argue that he was not allowed a fair trial, especially if he doesn't have his meds. Big problem. It could be screwing up the case already. Nonetheless, Scam Sam was still denied access to computers. I don't know which way to swing. Allow him to have access to computers or deny him, but potentially that could be used for an appeal. On top of that, the judge this week did say that they're absolutely sure that the jail does provide vegetarian options. Maybe not vegan, but vegetarian. But of course, if you've ever known a vegan, they are hardcore. So vegetarian stuff is just, it's not good enough. It's not quite the same for them. So if he's really that strict, it's not gonna fly. Judge Sarah Netburn. The only thing she said about the meds that I could find was that the courts would try to get the jail, Metropolitan Detention Center, to basically provide the meds in accordance to the defendant's preferences or needs. I find that very odd, but you never know. You never know what happens behind the scenes. But that could really, really kill their case. The one interesting thing is that some people actually are very pro Scam Sam. I've had some comments, even some nasty comments, for basically saying that Scam Sam is a scammer, crypto scammer, a financial fraudster. And apparently some people don't like that. I don't know why. How could anyone defend somebody who's stolen billions and billions of dollars, stolen people's livelihoods, their hard-earned cash, where finance, money, is people's, basically, that's their lifeline. It's literally what they use to live off of. That's how they pay their bills. That's how they pay their existence. That's how they support their families. So how can anyone ever defend anyone like Scam Sam? just boggles my mind. I find all this funny that he was thrown in jail just roughly a month and a half before his trial is set to begin, all because supposedly he leaked Caroline Ellison's memo to the New York Times, where the judge called it witness tampering. But apparently, Scam Sam, using VPNs or contacting former employees at FTX, was not good enough to revoke his bail back then, earlier this year. Suspicious. Alright guys, well that's it for this update. Thanks for watching. Smash like if you haven't. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.